Well, Joe Toplyn, good morning.
Good morning, Bridget.
I've got your book right here, Comedy Writing for Late Night TV. It's exciting to talk to you, sir. How did you get a job working with David Letterman?
Oh, that's a great question. I started at Harvard on the Harvard Lampoon. I majored in engineering and applied physics at Harvard, and then got an MBA. So I went to business school too. So the only way I managed to get in was knowing somebody who from the Lampoon who was working for David Letterman. So it was a combination of writing a solid writing submission and also knowing somebody from college who got in the business and gave me the opportunity.
So at what point did you realize when you're sitting there at a table with other writers like this, I'm part of an elite group of people who don't get to do this very often. Do you remember that moment when you thought, this is kind of cool?
From day one, it was cool, but it was also intimidating because here I was, and I had written some comedy in college, but after my writing submission ran out, the show actually used material from my writing submission. After that ran out, I was faced with the necessity of sitting in an office coming up with jokes. But this was a 12:30 show. There wasn't a lot of competition late night with David Letterman, and we had a lot of freedom. So the pressure really wasn't as great as it would have been if I had been starting on an established show like The Tonight Show.
Now, how did you accidentally almost set Letterman on fire? Did I hear that you almost accidentally set him on fire twice?
Oh my gosh, my career could have been ended just so quickly in a flash of flame. The first time we were doing a piece called Dropping Stuff Off a 5-Story Tower. And the way we liked to end that piece was with a barrage of fruit being thrown off the tower and splatting on the ground, and you'd see how spectacular it looked. It looked like fireworks. So I thought, well, we have to top ourselves if we're going to do this again. So I thought, why not fill a watermelon full of napalm, jellied gasoline? So there we are on the roof of the 5-story tower. I'm about 5 feet away from the watermelon, full of napalm. Dave lights the wick, and instead of just kicking the watermelon off, he just lets the wick burn, and the flame is getting closer and closer to the watermelon, which is full of napalm. So eventually, at the last possible second, Dave booted the watermelon off, and it hit the cement and exploded in flames, and it was spectacular.
Thank goodness he did, right? It was wonderful. I want to ask you about some of the people that you've encountered as part of your journey. I'm looking at photos of you with people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mel Gibson and Brooke Shields. What was it like seeing these A-list actors on a daily basis? I mean, people essentially who now were at the beginning of their career and just trying to make good impressions on somebody like Dave.
Well, that's the thing. It's almost a cliche, but celebrities are people too. You know, they have their wants and things that they don't want to do. And so really very quickly you learn that they just kind of want to have fun, and they want to look good and look smart. So as long as you're approaching them with a piece of comedy that you want them to do that doesn't make them look stupid or that would be fun, they'll play along, and they were just very accessible.
Did you get a chance to see the Letterman primetime special, David Letterman, A Life on Television? And what did you think?
I certainly did. It was just great to watch. I haven't seen Dave in a while. I haven't met Dave in a while, and it was just fun to just see all the interactions with celebrities and all the comedy pieces. And just remember, yeah, this was a lot of fun, and he really was a lot of fun to work for, and those are the sort of moments that made him great for so long. So I really enjoyed it.
Comedy writing for late night TV. What's the takeaway from a book like this?
I think the main thing that I tried to do in this book is prove that you could teach comedy writing. I think there's a feeling among a lot of comedy writers that you can't teach comedy. You can't teach somebody how to be funny. And I heard that enough, and I thought about how I write comedy, and I realized that there is a way to teach it. There are techniques that professional comedy writers use, and these are techniques that anybody can use. If you want to write a joke for a speech you're giving, or you have you want to design a funny T-shirt, these are all techniques that you can learn, and I wanted to put those down on the page so that everybody could have access to them for the first time.
Thank you very much. Joe. Have a great day.
You too.
From New York, home of the legendary 300-foot Sequoia, it's Late Night with David Letterman.